is Wednesday evening. This is the first time I've spoken to the vlog, so hello. I am a badly lit indie author, BA Winter. I write retellings of history and classic literature, and considering the odd fairy tale as well. I have one short story published, which is a retelling of A Christmas Carol, but think time travel instead of ghosts. That is linked down below. And this is Project Freedom, in which I am aiming to rid myself of my day job, clutter and debt. So I've spent most of the beginning of this week doing Publish and Thrive, which is a self-publishing course run by Sarah Cannon. We've been doing the actual practical publishing side, like uploading to different vendors and how it all works, Ingram Spark and Kobo and Amazon and Drafted Digital, which I go through for certain sites. I finished module 2 this morning, and that's been my week really. I've been at work and I've been doing module 2, Publish and Thrive. I then spent the rest of the day scripting, filming and editing and uploading a sort of video about my thoughts on Spare by Prince Harry. I read it in January and I've been wanting to sort of make a video / post about it for a while, and I finally got that done today, so I'm glad about that. I enjoyed making it. I like analysing things. I like thinking about things critically. Daphne is currently resting. She's chilling on my hard drive, or in the cloud technically. I'm supposed to be reading about witches and history and magic and social media, and that hasn't gone well yet. Module 2 for Publish and Thrive was a big one this week. It took me just over 8 hours to do, so I was doing that all of Monday morning. Yesterday, Tuesday, I only had about 2 hours in which to do anything because I was at work most of the day. I did a 7.5 hour shift. Tomorrow I'm going out. I'm doing the social thing tomorrow. Not a lot's going to get done. And then Friday, hopefully, I shall be back at my desk doing some reading. I have started ACOTAR, Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I think I said in last week's vlog, and I certainly said in my February TBR, I really wasn't sure I was going to like this book. I'm pleasantly surprised. So I think just by looking at the quick book listing hit, Throne of Glass might have been her debut. So there's a huge difference between an author's debut and a book that they wrote years later. And I think I'm seeing that difference in this. It would be interesting to go back to Throne of Glass and to see if it's the way I remembered it. And if the reasons I disliked it then, I still dislike it for now. But this is actually not too bad. There's a few bits of it, a few elements to it that I'm a bit like, this is a bit forced, a bit awkward. Doesn't feel natural or organic for a character to do or say. There's odd bits of dialogue that feel clunky. But other than that, I'm actually quite liking it. I mean, there's a huge question that I have that I'm hoping is answered by the end. If it's not answered and there's no reason behind this specific thing happening other than to serve the plot, I will be a bit annoyed. But yeah, so far, I'm actually liking it. I'm going to read some more of it tonight. It's nearly 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to do my nails, hopefully read a bit of ACOTAR, go to bed, do the social thing tomorrow, and then hopefully be back at it on Friday. I'll see you another day. Good morning, it is Friday morning. I didn't really do a lot yesterday. I read for an hour yesterday evening and I got my Instagram post done yesterday. I spent most of the day out, spending money I shouldn't have spent. Oops. It's really difficult to go out with people and not spend money. So my video went live yesterday. It's my sort of thoughts on Spare by Prince Harry, which I will leave linked up above and down below. So I'm trying out currently doing 2 videos a week. I don't know whether that will continue, how sustainable that will be as time progresses or not. This morning I'm going to start editing this vlog, so at least some of that's done before tomorrow. And I'm going to hopefully read some of the people. I am back to feeling a bit down. I'm falling into a bit of a comparison trap. Seeing other people be where I want to be and feeling like I'm never going to get there. It's like the gap between where you are now and where you want to be can sometimes feel so wide that it feels like I will never get there. And I think that's how I'm feeling, is the gap between where I am now, 7 weeks into the year, and where I want to be even at the end of this year, but definitely where I want to be long term, where I'm supporting myself entirely through self-employment, is so wide that feels impossible, and it feels like I've wasted so much time. Part of the problem for me has been that during my university years, the expectation always was that you would traditionally publish, that you would write short stories and send them out to magazines, that I would write query letters and query agents and get a traditional book deal and go down that road. But the indie path is harder, and the indie path is partly harder because of societal expectations, especially when you go into the academic world of creative writing. And that, I think, was the problem. If I'd done a straight English degree and creative writing hadn't been an option and I hadn't decided to do a creative writing degree, I think it would have been easier to stick to what I really wanted. Instead, I spent 3-4 years just hovering, just in limbo, because anxiety told me to go the traditional road because that was easier. Easier as in I would be meeting people's expectations. Easier as in it's socially more acceptable in writing circles, especially the circles I was in. But in my heart, I knew I didn't want to do that, but I felt like I had to do that that. And so I spent 4 years stuck in this sort of limbo space of, well, I should do that, but I don't really want to do that, but I'm not brave enough to do what I really want to do. So I'm just going to hover here. And the problem is that meant I wasted time. And now I look back and think I could have spent that time publishing. If I'd have carried on the path I was on before I ever went to university, I could have spent that time publishing 3, 4, 5 books. Instead, I spent it paralysed and just terrified to make a decision and to make a move. And it wasn't until I left university that I felt like, okay, I have to make a decision now. And because now there's no one's expectations on me, I feel brave enough to do this. And I wish I could go back. I wish I could go back to 2018 me, the year I started university, and just go, follow your own path. It's a big reason why I'm so hesitant to go further with creative writing academically, because I don't want to go back into that world of feeling like I'm having to constantly fight against other people's expectations of me. That's how I'm feeling this morning, down and kicking myself for wasting all that time. And when you see other people who have had an easier path race on ahead of you, it's accepting partly that it's everyone's on their own path, right? We're all on our own path. Keep your eyes on your own paper, stay in your own lane, that kind of thing. Comparison is the thief of joy, and it's so true it is. And comparing yourself to someone else doesn't actually help anything. But sometimes you can't help it. There's not a lot I can do about it. All I can do is sit with the feeling. The feeling will pass. Get on with editing this vlog. Get on with doing the reading that I need to do. And remember that it feels impossible now, but in a year's time, it will feel less impossible because I'll close that gap at least a little bit. And it might not be as much as I'd ideally want it to be because things take time, but I'm going to publish my first book this year and no one can stop me doing that. And that is exciting. I can't go back and change the past. All I can do is start where I am and change the future. Good morning once again. It is Saturday and the end of this vlog. I've read a bit more of The People this morning. I just started getting ready to go to work, and all I'm going to do tonight is just finish editing this vlog for it to be published, go live in the morning on Sunday. I think on the whole it's been an okay week. I mean, I've done 2 videos this week. So obviously I posted the vlog on Sunday, and I have filmed this vlog and have edited part of this vlog, and I posted my spare thoughts on video. I've read about 100 pages of The People and made some notes on it. I did post once on Instagram this week, which I think is positive. I'm about halfway through A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I haven't made as much progress this week as I'd have liked to, partly because Publish and Thrive took up most of the beginning of my week. So I did all the lessons for Module 2. The Q&A is tonight, but I won't be able to attend that live because I finish work as it starts. It's been a simple week, I think, and obviously I went out on Thursday all day, which meant I lost Thursday as a day of work, which is fine. It's frustrating when I look at it on my time tracker because I use Toggle to track my time, and it's frustrating when I look at Thursday and I see the entire blank day, which this is a downside to time tracking. I don't know whether I'd want to do it long term or not, but I do it at the minute to try and get a good idea of how long things are taking me. So how long is it taking me to write a draft? How long is it taking me to read a book? How long is it taking me to read non-fiction books versus fiction books? How long is it taking me to make a video? So that I can more accurately plan what I'm going to do throughout the week and the month and the quarter, but I don't know whether I'd want to do it like long term. So yeah, that's it for the week, I think. So I'm going to say thank you for watching. If you've made it this far into the video, hit like if you like, subscribe if you want to, and I'll hopefully see you next week with maybe 2 more videos. Next week is going to be my reasons why I'm indie publishing video, finally, months later. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time with another video.